Headlines: the Sour Eastern Cape fire burns homes to the ground and Arab League postpones a Syrian meeting. Good afternoon, I'm Carmen Reddy. A total of 17 homesteads have been burnt to the ground in the rural Eastern Cape's Xeleni area, leaving scores of people homeless. This is the second destructive fire in the country this weekend after a blaze destroyed about 20 homes near Malmouth in KwaZulu-Natal yesterday. The Eastern Cape fire got out of control from the Zudenene village. It's believed that an unattended fire and the wind carried it closer to the houses. Ward Councillor Monwabisi Nomandela says the villagers woke up to the raging fire in the middle of the night and did their best to extinguish it.
I only heard people crying. So we simply rushed to the scene, only to find that people's houses are burning down. Firefighters arrived at about 12 o'clock, but they failed. They did one failed because the fire was so strong.
A cold front coming up from Cape Town has spread across the country as far north as Limpopo and eastward to KwaZulu-Natal. Seas are rough right from Alexandra Bay on the Namibian border around to Port Alfred in the Eastern Cape. The Weather Office says the sunny weather over the Cape Peninsula is only a brief respite from heavy rains. Forecaster Stella Nake has warned of another cold front in the peninsula next week, bringing in more rain and strong winds.
We've got a cold front approaching for Tuesday. At this stage, it looks like it's going to arrive during the afternoon, and we're taking off rain as from Tuesday afternoon, continuing throughout on Wednesday and clearing on Thursday. Temperatures will be lower with low teens, with Cape Town at about 13 degrees on Tuesday. For the high ground areas, we are taking off temperatures below 10 degrees. That will be the Ceres, Excelsior areas and even the southern parts of the Northern Cape.
Meanwhile, the Eastern Cape is also in the grip of icy cold with strong winds and widespread rain. All the mountain passes are open, but emergency services have warned motorists to drive cautiously as the roads are slippery. The most rain has been measured at Cape St. Francis, where about 35.2 millimeters has been measured. The South African Freelancers Association has reacted with sadness to the news of the death of freelance writer and journalist Heidi Holland. Holland's body was found in a Melville home in Johannesburg yesterday. It's believed she committed suicide. Grand Sister of SAfm2pm says Holland's articles in international newspapers like The Telegraph, The New York Times and The Guardian, as well as her acclaimed books Dinner with Mugabe and The Color of Murder, made her a freelancer to be reckoned with.
We at SAFRI were very saddened to hear of the news of Heidi Holland's death last night. She was a very respected and acclaimed freelance journalist and author, and our deepest condolences go out to her family at what must be a very difficult time.
Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga is expected to meet members of teacher union SATU in Polokwane in Limpopo this afternoon. The aim is to discuss the implementation of the catch-up program in order to help learners who are affected by the non-delivery of textbooks. Some grades 1, 2, 3 and 10 learners are still without books. The department was instructed by the North Gauteng High Court to implement the program when schools reopened last month. The department failed to comply as the plan was not finalized and teachers demanded payment for overtime. International headlines now. The Arab League has postponed a short notice in a meeting to discuss the Syrian crisis and consider a replacement for the international envoy Kofi Annan. The meeting was scheduled to take place today in the Saudi Arabian city of Jeddah. Recapping your top story at 2 o'clock, a total of 17 homesteads have been burnt to the ground in the rural Eastern Cape's Xeleni area, leaving scores of people homeless.